Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. My name is NURSYUHADAH DAMSING and today I will be presenting a joint study with Dr. Suraya Cik Harun from the Kuliah of Education, International Islamic University Malaysia. Our paper is entitled Developing the Four Arabic Language Skills and Their Role in Enhancing Communicative Competence Among Non-Native Learners. To begin, let me start with a simple question. Why do many students learn Arabic for many years yet still feel lack confidence when communicating in the language? So, if we look at the Malaysian context, Arabic is taught widely from primary schools right up to universities. It is supported by strong national curricula such as KSSR, KSSM, Tahfiz, and Ulul Albab programs. Arabic is not only learned for religious purposes but increasingly as a language of communication. However, despite years of exposure, many learners still struggle to communicate effectively in Arabic. So this brings us to a clear problem. Many students show weaknesses in all four language skills, especially speaking. They often feel shy, lack confidence, and fear making mistakes. And one major reason for this is that Arabic teaching still focuses heavily on grammar and memorization rather than real communication. As a result, the language is learned but not truly used. So, to better understand this issue, these slides will summarize key findings from previous studies. Firstly, this study builds on the study builds upon previous research that highlights the importance of developing the four core language skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing in Arabic language learning. Past studies consistently show that mastery of these skills is essential for achieving communicative competence, especially among non-native learners. Researchers also emphasize that these skills should not be taught in isolation but in an integrated and communicative manner. Secondly, several studies indicate that listening and speaking skills play a particularly important role in communication. For example, research by Jamali and colleagues shows that interactive and communicative classroom activities significantly improve learners' confidence and oral performance. On the other hand, studies also highlight that an overemphasis on grammar and memorization limits students' opportunity to practice real communication, and it is resulting in passive language use. In contrast, learner centered and interactive approaches have been found to enhance fluency motivation um, and meaningful language engagement. Nevertheless, although many studies discuss individual language skills or specific teaching techniques, fewer studies focus on how the four skills work together to support communicative competence in Arabic. In the Malaysian context, research shows that despite having structured curricula, students continue to struggle with communicative performance. Therefore, this study addresses this gap by synthesizing as existing literature to examine how the integrated development of the four language skills contributes to communicative competence among non-native Arabic learners. So, in line with this, the study aims to explore effective strategies for developing the four Arabic language skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. It also examines how these skills contribute to enhancing communicative competence among non-native learners. And importantly, the focus is not only on language knowledge but on meaningful language use in real life situations. Now, let us briefly look at the four skills themselves. The Arabic language consists of four core skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing, and these skills are often taught separately in classrooms. However, in real communication, actually, these skills naturally work together. For example, when we have a conversation, we listen and then we respond orally and we recall vocabulary from our reading and we organize ideas that often come from writing practice. At this point, it is important to clarify what we mean by communicative competence. Communicative competence refers to the ability to use language effectively and appropriately in real situations. It includes expressing ideas clearly, understanding others, and interacting confidently. In other words, success in language learning is not measured by how much grammar students know, but how well they can communicate. Therefore, communicative competence should be the main goal of Arabic language education. Firstly, listening is the foundation of language learning. Learners cannot speak accurately if they cannot hear and recognize sounds correctly. Effective listening strategies include exposure to various audio materials, post-listening discussions, and comprehension activities such as summarizing and questioning. Strong listening skills help learners develop accurate pronunciation and prepare them for speaking. Secondly, speaking is perhaps the most visible and challenging skill for non-native learners. Many students are afraid of making mistakes or being judged by others. To address this, teachers can use an interactive activities such as short dialogues, role play, drama, and storytelling. These activities allow learners to practice Arabic in meaningful and enjoyable contexts, which gradually builds confidence and fluency. Thirdly, reading and writing play important supporting roles in communicative competence. Reading helps learners expand vocabulary, understand sentence structures, and develop critical thinking. Writing, on the other hand, helps learners organize ideas and express meaning accurately. Collaborative writing activities and the use of technology can make writing more engaging and effective. One key finding of this study is that communicative competence improves significantly when the four language skills are taught in an integrated manner. Listening supports speaking, while reading strengthens writing. When learners practice these skills together through meaningful tasks, they become more confident and more fluent in communication. So, based on these findings, several recommendations can be made. Teachers should integrate the four language skills in classroom activities rather than teaching them in isolation. Learning tasks should reflect real-life communicative situations. Vocabulary selection should be based on communicative needs, not memorization alone. Most importantly, classrooms should provide a safe space where students feel comfortable practicing speaking without fear of making mistakes. To conclude, communicative competence is the ultimate goal of Arabic language learning. This goal can only be achieved through balanced and integrated development of listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills. When Arabic is taught as a living language rather than just a subject, learners are better prepared to use it confidently in real life communication. That's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.